stick together. We stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. Stick together. Stick to.
This is what all the Republicans are saying to each other back and forth right now. They're just completely like, listen, stick to the plan, stick to the plan. Okay, we know what the plan is. Yeah, we all understand what the plan is. The plan is to do this. No. The plan is to do this. Nobody knows what the is going on right now. Nobody knows what the is going on. Nobody knows who's making money, who's losing money. Nobody knows when we're putting in tariffs on, when we're taking them off, how much they're going to be. It's all over the place. As it stands right now, we look at the Dow Jones, right? We're up, baby. We're going to see how long this lasts. With the 125% tariffs that have just been put on China, the rest of the market, I'm not sure if the market is totally taken into account the fact that there is still 10% tariffs on literally every single country. Hey, thank you for the raid, my friends, right as we're getting started. Very good timing. Very, very good timing. Because I am not either destroyed by anger or too high yet to operate. So welcome in. Have I banked my rage? I actually, let me tell you guys something. I would describe myself as someone who is empathetic, right? I'm a very empathetic person. I would say I'm empathetic to a fault. I think that I give people too many chances. I think that I can be a little bit of a pushover sometimes, you know. I have zero ability psychologically or physically or spiritually to hold any space in my head for people in the Rust Belt. Free Panda Man? Panda Man, that will never happen. I feel your pain. You have no idea. There are things that I talked to a friend of the channel and former editor, former roommate, Tiger, the other day. I think it was Sunday or Saturday. And I ranted uninterrupted in a hateful screed, uninterrupted for a solid 10 minutes about how much I hate Midwesterners. Because everything, like I'm in a total realignment. I'm actually like having kind of a brain blast this past week because of the tariffs. So I have Trump to thank for this. Okay, I've had a brain blast. I've been thinking that, you know, the whole thing about politics is talking about, you know, a solution to a problem so that, you know, people are taken care of, right? And I assume that's what everybody else was doing, even the crazy conservatives, right, in their own way. Like the people from the Rust Belt, I assume that they just wanted, you know, some relief, you know, like their lives are so terrible because all of the manufacturing jobs went away. And so I was like, yeah, hell yeah, these people, we've been leaving them behind. We've been leaving them behind. We need to, one second. We need to help these people out. Come to find out that these people hate me. They hate me for the simple fact that I wasn't born in the Midwest. When I tell you, I have never, ever, even at the height of the alt-right, I have never thought there is an enemy faction in my country that actively seeks to harm me and those around me. I have never thought that until this week. When I watched all these people say, yes, I don't care about 401ks. I don't care about the economy. I don't care about whether or not this is going to hurt me. I'm just glad it's hurting you. I'm just glad it's hurting the people that live in the cities. A lot of the people that I've interacted with, all right? Sondsol, look, what do you want from me? Money isn't real? Yeah, exactly. Money isn't real. But yeah, the fact that I can spend the past 5 years, trying to build that empathy, like trying to understand the other side of things, only for me to finally realize, oh, they just hate me. They hate my parents. They hate my siblings. They hate me and my family because we weren't, like they said, I don't care if you're rich, right? And this is multiple different interactions with multiple different people across multiple different threads. So this isn't like one crazy group of people, right? They are saying we are specifically glad that the average person in cities is getting, because we have been getting by the people in the cities for the past 30 years. I'll tell you this right now. Any person that speaks like that, I don't think we can engage in a social contract, because I assume that in order to have a human conscious experience, you want to cooperate with other people and not, harm them, right? If we're going to have a truly antisocial segment of our population like this that is in large enough numbers to elect a retard to the presidency, I'm actually fine with authoritarian measures for the first time in my life. Yeah, I am okay with whatever the government like needs to do to maintain order in Appalachia. Do it. I'm done having sympathy for people that actively want my life to be worse. Every single conservative that I've spoken to, that I've talked about my personal issues, like how the policies are directly impacting me and my family, they tell me good, and I'm glad, right? And something that like is so disgusting to me is like, however much you disagree with the other side, like even up to this point, right? Outside of a couple of people, like broadly speaking, I would think that conservatives just have a different idea of how to make people's lives better, but they're just stupid about it, right? These people are evil. They're not stupid. They are evil. I mean, your government said they're okay with deporting citizens to El Salvador. Yeah, you know what? There's a huge segment of the population. I'm just going to say that. There's a huge segment of the population. I'm tired of gaslighting myself into thinking that, XYZ, I'm tired of gaslighting myself into thinking XYZ conservative is like actually like a decent person, right? I did that. The most recent time was with drone tech, right? I keep on gaslighting myself into thinking that these conservative YouTubers and Twitch streamers are human beings, right? And in drone tech, it's like, oh, I'm not sure about these tariffs. Like, I'm looking at everything, and it seems like people are, sucking him off, and he's doing something bad. I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's on the way out. And then log on to Twitter, and he's just like railing against black people on every single.
Wolfenstein? Yeah, I haven't read it.
Thank you for the 1,000 bits. I appreciate that a lot. Very generous of you. But yeah, go on to Twitter, and there's drone tech just posting racist shit about black people, right? There's conservative Twitch streamers, very few and far between. Yes. Trump did great leveraging the tariffs when China fell for the trap. I'm sorry, I don't have. I'm not going to respond to. I need to find a way. I need to find a way to survive in this in this environment. I don't mean like media environment, like streaming and continuing to stream. I need to find out how not to either. How do I say this without getting banned on Twitch? Without taking myself out or someone else. I need to figure that out because this shit's crazy. You conservatives are driving me crazy. You guys, and that's the thing that I'm also starting to realize. You guys know that you're lying. You guys know. The thing that I'm realizing so much. Wait, why the is the why is it not showing me? I just saw that YouTube chat is moving, but I didn't get it on my screen. How's it going, Moisak? Trump could nuke the entire planet and they'd say he's playing 5D chess. They don't believe it, though. They know that it's bullshit. That's what I'm starting to realize, right? They know it's bullshit. There is no reason to argue with them. It's like in Wix server. There are certain people in there that deserve the death penalty for the psychic damage that they're inflicting on society. There are people in that server that are legitimately less than human. There's no other explanation for saying stupid shit like that. It's like that level of stupidity is just unimaginable, right? Yeah, I don't know how to survive in an environment like this where people on the like conservatives know that they're lying. They know that they're being lied to. They know bad things are happening. They know things that are unconstitutional are happening. They know that things are unconstitutional and that they disagree with are happening, but they're not speaking out. And then they're trying to lie to me that they agree with this stuff. Why are you crashing out today? I don't view conservatives as human beings right now. They have been showing me their true colors. If you're going to show me your true colors, I need to start treating people like they're telling me who they are. Because I've never done that before. I give people too many chances. I give people way too many chances. And I'm tired of gaslighting myself into thinking that conservatives you say Republicans or conservatives in general? I'm using them interchangeably, of course, right now. But there are three conservatives that interact in this space that I think are human beings right now. And I mean that genuinely. I don't know how I can trust a conservative after the past week. I don't know how I can trust them to be truthful in a conversation. I don't know how I can trust them to ever make a rational political decision because again, they've been telling me very specifically and they want this country to be harmed such to the point that they feel good about how much harm has been done to people in the cities, and enough people don't want to trade with us that we have to make our own shit. They don't have a positive view of the future. They have a negative one of harming others so that they can get jobs they had back in the 80s. I have no sympathy for them. If these diabetic, rot tooth pieces of shit want to go around and elect people into office and then have everybody else deal with the consequences, then I am never, ever, 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 ever going to call on the Democrats to rein it in because it might be damaging to someone out in Appalachia. Is it possible to deprogram MAGA? No, they have to want it, and none of them want it. They like living in the delusion. They're in too deep most of the time. They're just in too deep. They realize that they've said so many stupid things, so many retarded things. They have burnt so many bridges with so many friends. Male Rights USA, never come back to my stream ever again. You are not welcome. Go and find a nice rickety stool that you can then take to the rope store. Find yourself a nice long rope and then tie it really tight so that you can fix the stool, of course. I don't and I'm being very genuine. I have been very genuine with everything that I've said on stream. There are some things that are a little bit like edgy or angry that I don't say on stream, which I'm trying to hold back right now. I cannot. Yeah. I'm just going to say this. Listen, when there is a solid even 5% of this country that actively is cheering for my parents to, like be harmed with their retirement funds, who are cheering for my parents to be harmed because they were teachers, which is something that happened on Twitter this past week, when there's an entire segment of the population that literally, it doesn't matter about class consciousness. It doesn't matter about any kind of solidarity with fellow Americans. It doesn't matter if they intentionally harmed the Midwesterners or not. It doesn't matter if the Rust Belt was intentionally gutted out by everybody else for their own selfish gain or not. These people just want us to suffer. And I will never, ever, ever chastise someone politically for going too far on harming the Rust Belt. If they want the smoke, if they want everybody in the cities to suffer, that we can play that game. There are more people that are going to be mad about losing their 401ks than there are about losing manufacturing jobs. And when Republicans face the electoral nuclear consequences of this, we should never allow them to hold power ever again. And we should inflict as much suffering on MAGA as possible. Conservatives lie. What would make you say that?
It costs you nothing.
Yeah, and then these rich who took Russian money, millions of dollars of Russian money, try to tell you, oh, don't worry about the money. Money is just something. Money comes and goes, but your country is forever. You subhuman freak with your 4 eyes and your 2 brain cells. Shut the up forever. People like this do not deserve to be able to have a bank account. People like this do not deserve to have a internet license, like a subscription to a internet utility company. They don't deserve to own a computer. They do not deserve to communicate with other people in society. That is because they should be in jail for lying to so many people and causing them to do suicidal financial policies. I think that people like this are subhuman. They do not deserve to live in this country. I would take 5 million pro-Hamas protesters who like grow out of it by the time they're 24 and deport every single MAGA person like this. It would be the easiest question of my entire life. Slap the button. Getting the out of here.
This is just the reality of life. You're gonna, like, were you young and dumb? How much money did you lose? Everyone loses money. Everyone loses money. It costs you nothing. In fact, it builds quite a bit of character.
Losing money is literally the definition of it costing you something, you subhuman retard.
In fact, you learn a lot of lessons, actually, by losing money.
It's bloody Black Monday. Holy moly. The Kamala crash is here. Kamala needs to get in front of a camera today. People are losing their homes today. People are losing their fortunes today. People are losing their futures today.
This guy should lose his life savings today. They don't deserve. Yes, that is close. By the way, guys, I am going to legitimately start pushing towards, hey, really quick, why is my thing, I'm sorry, YouTube chat, I can see you guys are moving, but it's not showing me YouTube chat for some reason. Say something again in YouTube chat. If you're going to rant, yeah, no, I need to, okay, now it's showing up on my thing. Let me catch up with what you guys are saying. It's a death cult. MAGA loves the delusion, and the only thing that can their own Kool-Aid moment. True. CoffeeZilla wrecked this piece of shit. I see that this is from CoffeeZilla. Did he put a video out? It's because we're brown, is it? No, I have this thing that's supposed to combine all my chats, but
Today, people are losing their homes today. People are losing their fortunes today. People are losing their futures.
yeah, I would take every Venezuelan migrant over literally a single MAGA cultist. Because at least there's the possibility of the Venezuelan person having a soul, right? Probably an overwhelming majority of them have souls. But when it comes to MAGA, they sold their souls. They sold their souls. All right. This is again, like I've been talking to people to get onto more debate shows and stuff. No one should have me on a debate show. No one should have me on a debate show for like the next couple of weeks. Because I'll intentionally try and get someone banned. I do not give a There's a reason why all the sex pests and criminals flock to MAGA. Yeah, it's true. It's weird how so many people listen. I'm there. You'll be on the Tim Pool blacklist. Well, Tim Pool is one of the shows that I've been invited to go on, or at least I'm invited to look into going on to, but I've tried to do something recently. I've tried to like not quite meditate, but sit and think, right? It's actually the opposite of meditation because I'm actively thinking. I'm trying to think through, right? Like everything going on right now. And I don't have a concrete vision of what the world is right now, right? But it's kind of solidifying. I don't know. I think that I'm just going into a full on like hate fueled political era. Because it doesn't seem like any amount of the outreach that liberals online have done, it doesn't seem like any of the outreach that liberals in politics have done across the aisle to have bipartisan legislation, right? It doesn't seem to matter. So trying to give them no quarter. Yeah, exactly. Trying to justify my principled stances from before, right? Like I had an argument with, I think he goes on to Wick's panels, but I know I see him in Wick's chat. Cal Rich, on Twitter. I had an argument with him about whether or not we should be nuanced in our critique of the Trump tariffs, right? Because there is technically a use case for a tariff that we can, that we don't want to, completely throw away and pretend like it's not a useful thing, right? And Biden and Obama both used Twitters, or I'm sorry, I said Twitter because I was reading Twitter. Both of them use tariffs. So we should try and tailor our message to explain that sometimes tariffs are good. No. Where's the nuance with the tariff conversation from the conservatives? Where's the nuance that they have to use to get people to vote for them? Where is the like, and he's saying, well, what did they look at the the tariffs that Obama or Biden put on? What then? Did any of these people do research to see if tariffs are paid by the foreign country or by the company here in the United States? Did these people do any research to see if tariffs were good economic policy? No. Why is it that we assume that conservatives are the only ones that can message to the retards? We need to message to retards too. Because retards get just as much of a vote as me and you. And they're not punished electorally when they don't deliver. They just say, we're going to make things cheaper. We're going to reduce your taxes. There's not going to be any more abortion. There's not going to be any more brown people. Black people will know their place, and you guys will have your manufacturing jobs. And all the conservatives jerk off until they're common blood. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? Why do we treat everyone like they have the literacy level to read a high school level book? Half of America can't read a 6th grade level book. Let's talk to them that way. You're an actual retard if you like tariffs. Make that our slogan so that every single time someone talks about tariffs, the retards out in the society say, oh, you're one of the tariff retards. You're one of the tariff tards, aren't you? We just need some stupid, retarded, nothing slogans like tariff tard to call people. Because anything that we need to do with a tariff, we can accomplish through another means and achieve the same end without using a tariff. Can I ask a genuine question? Only because you actually do ask genuine questions when you say that. So yes. I feel like Letner Goat actually knows my limits at this point. But it's making me feel horrible, by the way. Everything that I've said up to this point doesn't make me feel good. I legitimately felt sick to my stomach when I realized, holy shit, I think there are people in this country that would kill me because I'm a Democrat. And it's not some insignificant number. There are people in this country that would watch me suffer in destitution because they suffered, and I had nothing to do with it. Do you think Walls is right that the message of "I told you so" isn't going to resonate? I'm not sure. I'm going to let the adults figure out that kind of messaging. I'm not an adult. I'm 29 years old. I have a couple more months until I'm 30. I still get to call people retards. I still get to tell people to go kill themselves. Okay. I'm not an adult yet. I am disgusted with myself that I have spent so much time and energy trying to be nice to conservatives for my entire life, or trying to find a middle ground with them. And it's not the left that's making me feel like the conservatives are evil. I got past that. It's the conservatives telling me who they are. And I'm glad that Letner Goat is still in chat. So there's at least one conservative left in chat. I want conservatives to know that it is not anybody telling me what you guys are doing. It is not anybody telling me, guys, what you are. It is not anybody. It is my interpretation of your actions and your own words that are making me despise you. I have never felt the kind of visceral, unbelievable, deep-seated, unmitigated hatred that I have for any human being. I have never felt it. It is a horrible feeling. I feel it very genuinely and very deep in my soul for conservatives who want there to be suffering, who look at what's happening and are jerking off to it. Now, if you're not one of the conservatives that are looking at what Trump is doing and saying base, if you're not one of the conservatives that's like, yeah, I want other people to suffer, then I'm not talking to you. You don't have to feel this way. But are you telling your friends who are conservatives that this is immoral? Are you telling your like fellow conservatives that what they're doing is wrong? Are you telling literally anybody in your life that the way that they're engaging in politics is not only damaging to their soul and to their moral character, it's also damaging physically and financially and in a very real way to their neighbors? To people who have never done any intentional harm to them? I'm sorry. But the kind of like edgy, like joking manner in which I talked about how much I hated conservatives and for what reasons were, they were largely hyperbolic, and I would never, you know, like I consider myself a really, really reasonable person. But I think that I've been too reasonable. I think that I've been too much of a pushover to an antisocial movement that wants to see people around me hurt. And I'm not going to do it anymore. So this is going to be, unless the conservative is ultimately well behaved, this is going to be a echo chamber, at least until I can stomach to see a conservative type in my chat. So that's my announcement, just for everybody. I know that it's been a couple of days since I streamed last. So I know you guys were waiting on all the updates. We got all of the, all the housekeeping is done. All the announcements are done. We now actually hate conservatives. It's not a joke. If they want to harm me and my family, then I'm not going to cry about literally any kind of optical thing or, any kind of bad protest that I disagree with. I'm not going to tell anyone to stop. It's just not something that I'm going to do. When they won't tell their people to stop, then I won't tell my people to stop. This will give Tron good short content. This probably isn't a good thing to post, to be honest. It's probably not a good thing to say. But the only thing, I'll tell you this, the only thing stopping me from telling you guys further how I feel, the true depths of how I feel, is because my mom is listening and she was mad at me for saying mean things. And the second thing is, if I were to speak as candidly as I did off stream the other day, I would be banned not just from Twitch, I would be banned from YouTube, perma. Tesla stock falling below 200 will make me climax? Yeah. Again, like, I'm trying to stop being baffled by everything too. I need to stop. And we've made this joke. People in chat have made this joke. I've made this joke. Ever since like mid last year, this stream has just been the Sondsol is like perpetually baffled, always surprised, just in an utter state of confusion at all times, because I just can't believe where we're at. I can't believe that this person's saying this. I can't believe this person's acting like that, stuff like that. Wait. Sounds like you're working through this internally still, but what do you think the solution is, if any? The solution is the total destruction of Republican institutional power in this country for at least a generation. There's no... Don't get banned, kick blows? Yeah. Abolishing religion wouldn't hurt either. I don't even care about that, man. I just... The thing that I need to stop, this is what I was saying earlier, right? I need to stop being surprised when people tell me who they are. The performative cruelty isn't going to fly with me anymore. Like when people are like jokingly like, well, yeah, I'm glad that the Venezuelans, got deported to El Salvador without due process. Like they're not citizens, LOL. Like, oh, not a citizen, couldn't care less. Those people, and I'm telling Gas now, they will have one chance to get into a voice call with me, and then you will ban them. I'm super serious. I'm almost 30 years old. I don't have the time or the spiritual strength to deal with these people. I don't. Unless I'm going to bring them into a call to berate them. What I this is going to be my last baffled thing for today. All right. Every time I say something that I'm baffled or I can't believe this or blah 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 blah, you guys need to shout me down in chat, okay? But the single biggest mind to me is the total jettisoning of all human compassion. The performative glee in doing cruel shit. I'm not talking about like, oh, well, like, that was just a little mean. I'm talking about like abject cruelty. I don't know, like, what, and I ask people, and I ask like the few conservatives whenever, like, I feel like I ask them too much. I'm sure that they annoyed with me. How the fuck do I talk to people who don't seem to exhibit the same emotions as me, who don't have the same emotional, reaction to harm being done to another human being? That Chrissy Gnome video in front of inmates was insane. Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. But I hope my mom is still listening. My upbringing, I realize more and more, and the older I get, and the worse that you conservatives act, the more I realize that my upbringing was such an unbelievably perfect thing. Not when it comes to like, like my family wasn't perfect, and we, there was money struggles and people fought sometimes, but what was so perfect about the way I grew up, and I hope I am a 10th of a percent as good of a parent as my parents were, to install the level of care for other human beings, even if I don't know them. That, I thought, was a default human thing. But it is not. And it has taken me 30 years of my life to realize that people aren't just putting up a front, right? There is no excuse. I don't know how to engage with people that don't care for others like this. Isn't it sad that we have to praise something that should be a shared trait among all of us? Yeah. Again, I think that I don't think this. I've thought through this. The reason why it's so baffling to me is because it is so hard for me to, like, I can put myself into so many different people's perspectives and views on things. I can't put myself into someone's perspective that just has no regard for, like, human decency like that. To look at the situation with the gay barber, Sondsol is better and more chill without his prescription meth. You realize that this is me for the first time. This is you watching me for the first time in 8 months with my meth, right? Or are you saying that this is too excited for you? I think the average American is still more like you than the people that you are talking about. Letner, maybe you're not like the people that I'm talking about, but the things that you've said in my chat, I am talking about people like you. Maybe you're not like these people, but I'm specifically talking about people like you. And I'll click on that link in a second, Internet Gas. But again, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, because this is, it's like It's like someone who is red-green colorblind realizing that once they're 20 years old, right? At a certain point, right? At a certain point, you are told, oh, you're red-green colorblind, and then you realize, oh, shit, I'm seeing something in a way that nobody else is. But you literally are not able to see it from their perspective. You don't get to see red or green when you're red-green colorblind. There's nothing that can change that, right? There's just a difference in perspective. It's like that to me. I didn't know that there was this difference in perception of the world compared to other people because it was such a default thing. It never, for a moment, made me question its existence in my life. But watching again, and I'm kind of looping, but like again, watching these people, after an attempt at reaching across the aisle and saying, listen, there's things that we can do to fix the situation in the Midwest, right? In the Rust Belt, I feel for you guys. I have empathy for you guys, and we should find a solution. For the response back to me, and it's not just me. I've seen them talking to other people and massive posts with hundreds of thousands of likes on Twitter being reposted tens of thousands of times, saying, no, we don't want those solutions. The f are you talking about? We don't want those solutions. We want you to suffer. Your parents who have a 401k, we want them to suffer. We need to reduce, and they've thought through how much they want us to suffer. Mind you, in 1929, we lost an asset value of like 87%. They want us to drop 175%. So that we can lose enough wealth in our society that we need to bring manufacturing back so that they become useful again. 1 second. I think most people have a tribal mentality and their in and out groups just differ. I said it on Twitter, but empathy heat map. This right here, why? Just open up the image in a new tab. Why? This image right here should tell us everything that we need to know about conservatives. Does anybody know Rob Henderson? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't even reading the tweet. So but this one's in chat. If you guys know this map, if you've ever seen this picture before, give me a 1 in chat. This right here, I think, is a good litmus test. Don't worry, I'm just saying, yeah. For the kinds of people we should have in society. Now, some people have misinterpreted this graph. They say that, well, conservatives, they care more about people close to them. So 1 is yourself, 2 is your immediate family, right? Like every circle is 1 step further away from you. Right? Heat maps indicating highest moral allocation by ideology. So 1 is, so 1 is all of your immediate family. 2 is all of your extended family. 3 is all of your closest friends. 4 is all of your friends, including distant ones. 5 is all of your acquaintances. 6, all people you have ever met. 7, all people in your country. All people in your continent, all people on all continents, all mammals, all amphibians, reptiles, mammals, fish, and birds, all animals on fish, including paramecia and amoeba, et cetera, going all the way to all things in existence, including rocks and shit, okay? The misinterpretation from people has been, hey, thank you for the raid, Resi. Sorry, you guys are coming in on a serious stream. Okay? So, what's my take on this? Are we talking about this? Or are you talking about something else? We like cereal? I'm sorry. Sorry you're poor and you have to eat cereal. A Feebify? Ooh. Oh, I don't like that. What happened over there on Resi's stream, dude? Wait a second. Hold on. Pause. Time out. What happened on Resi's stream for that to be said? How's it going, Nico Pluto? Won't work, Intense Complex. I'm already psychically damaged. Nothing that you can do anything worse to me than it has already been done. All right. Anyways, I'll do a quick TLDR for everyone that just rated in. Hey guys, welcome to Sondsol stream. This is a wacky place where lots of fun, crazy things happen. Today we're talking about why I have decided to finally take the I despise conservatives with every fiber of my being, with every drop of my soul that God himself gave to me. I despise them, and I have no moral consideration for them whatsoever. There is no reason to be nice to them. There is no reason to be friends with them. There is no reason to argue with them. There is no reason to interact with them. They are subhuman to me. Now that we got the TLDR out of the way, this right here is a good litmus test, in my opinion, for whether or not someone should be allowed to exist in a society with me. All right? One second. I need to change the way that I'm talking. I have to talk a little bit higher on my voice because I can feel, I can actually feel lower on my voice that my voice is going to go out eventually. So, no, it's going to go away. Whatever. So this right here is a good litmus test. Okay. So just so everybody understands, this is a graph showing how, the highest moral allocation, right? So how much you care about something, right? With 1 being all of your immediate family, 2 being your extended family, 3, all of your closest friends, 4, all of your friends, including distant ones, 5, all of your acquaintances, yada, 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 up to and including all rocks and stones in the universe. Okay. So I think if your ability to have compassion for something ends at, I'm going to say 7. If you're not able to get to ring 7, then you're not allowed to live in the same country as me. This is, so you know, the highest value on the heat map scale is 20 units for liberals, 12 units for conservatives, are described as follows. Oh, wait, it's indicating the highest moral allocation, right? So do you allot any moral consideration to this group, right? Do they deserve rights? Like, if something bad was happening to them, would you care, right? If someone died here, would you give a right? If someone was being murdered or tortured or anything like that, if something bad was happening to someone in this ring, would you care? That's all this is saying, right? Short stream? Yeah, let's do that. Here, let me finish this before I forget though. Number 7 is all the people in your country. As you guys can see here, and let me triple check and just make sure that you guys can see. Yeah, as you guys can see here, conservatives start petering out about 6. Can you post this study in chat? I believe it was posted in the Twitter. Yeah. Copy. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go like this. Copy. There's the link. Anyways, so people have taken this chart here to say that conservatives care about, you know, the people around them, and liberals don't give a about their family. They don't give a about their friends. They only care about people in other countries and frogs and shit. Right? Because they're retards who have the same amount of votes as you do. They're able to vote with the same amount of power as you do. Keep that in mind. And not only are they retarded, they also don't even reach up to the required circle in here on average to give a about everybody in their country, to even give moral consideration, to care if someone in their country dies. If there's a natural disaster and people get burnt alive, all you have to do is say that yeah, that would make me sad. I would say that that was a bad thing that happened. They can't even do that. And we're supposed to listen to these people about what they think should happen with our economy when they're telling me that they want to harm me and my family? No. And I'll tell you this. I very genuinely, if they've gotten me to the point where I actually feel like there's a enemy faction in my country that would like to see my family suffer, if they lost me on that, someone whose entire, reputation online and entire, moral worth that he gives himself, right? My entire worth to myself is whether or not I can act as a principled person. Every single principle that I have about how to treat another person is in flux right now because of these people.